Guys, deluded, I'm back again. YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Thank you very much for tuning back in, man. And yeah, bruv, I know it's I know it's transfer windows and stuff like that, and the World Cup's going and all these things. But I thought today, I made my vids in the morning. Obviously, you've seen me talk about whatever vids I spoke about. I'm wearing an Arsenal top. It was this morning before I left for work. I've come back. And Ronaldo's decided to, well, we've already known he's going to join Juventus, but it's been more or less, I don't want to say officially confirmed, because I ain't seen a picture of him holding the shirt yet, but it's more or less been done. You've got Ramos and all the Madrid players saying thank you and good luck. The Ballers welcoming him. Madrid have more or less issued a statement. So, yeah, it's more or less done. We also heard yesterday that somebody, I can't remember if it was one of Ronaldo's people, Juventus' people. No, it must have been Juventus' people. They were flying up. Oh, I got grease on my top, man. Fuck's sake, bro. Pisses me off when shit like that happens, man. Fuck's sake. But anyways, yeah. One of them lot was flying over, apparently, allegedly, to complete the move. And it's more or less been done. I can't remember the duration of the contract, but he's 33. I'm not sure how long it is, so I'll assume 3 years or so. I could be wrong. It could be 5. I don't know on that regard. But he signed a decent contract, or he's going to sign a decent contract. They've bought him for 105 million apparently. And yeah, if this was any other normal 33-year-old or any other world-class player that's 33 years of age, excluding Messi, you would turn up your nose and be like, what are you lot doing, Juventus? But it's Ronaldo. I mean, on the pitch and off the pitch, it pays for him. He pays for himself commercially. Yeah, again, I'm not a financial expert, but it's Ronaldo. So immediately, shirt sales. Immediately, you're gonna have it benefits Serie A as well. Not because I watch Serie A, but many people have this lazy narrative that is boring. Match fixing messed it up many years ago, and that's true. But because Ronaldo's there, many people now, whether they're even fans of Ronaldo or not, are now going to flock to Serie A. So if more people are watching it, I don't want to say the league gets stronger, but there's a light on the league. Obviously, sponsorships, endorsements, his naming rights that they might be able to use for commercials and stuff like that. It brings in a lot of commercial money just from having a player like this. So a lot of it's going to be paid itself. That being said, I do think large parts of this deal, I can't put my finger on it, but something just feels dodgy, like maybe something got laundered, something got passed through an account it wasn't supposed to be, someone signed something off they're not supposed to, or whatever. I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right about this deal to Madrid. I don't know where it is. I really don't know. Something doesn't feel right about Arthur's move this summer to Barcelona to me either. But yeah, off the field, it pays for itself. I mean, if you've watched the last 8 seasons, you've seen Ronaldo score 50-plus goals. I mean, he's won 3 or 4 Champions Leagues. I've lost count now at Madrid. So immediately, you can see how this pays for itself. It's a big loss to Madrid. We'll speak about them. But Juventus, it's a mad deal. It's a mad thing. They've got a world-class player. I mean, even with their Netflix series, they can do some commercial business. But they've got a world-class player. It's going to make all the fans stand up to be counted. All the players, regardless of their standing at the club currently, are going to be like, whoa, it's Ronaldo, and step it up. Obviously, it's Ronaldo. You're immediately thinking of Champions League. Every year, Juventus is Champions League. Again, no disrespect to the domestic league. They're expected to win that, and they want to win that. But it's Champions Leagues. They've got to 2 finals of recent years. 2015, I'm so sure, and I'm sure they lost to Madrid once upon a time in a final. So Ronaldo maybe helps bridge the gap and get them there. I mean, I am seeing a lot of people, for me, it feels like discrediting the rest of Madrid players. Of course, Ronaldo makes the difference and things like that in terms of champs. But, I mean, you've got Modric, you've got Kroos, you've got some very good players there. Casemiro might not be world-class, but people like it. So I do think it's lazy when I see comments like, immediately Madrid are in trouble in the Champions League. Immediately El Clasico is not worth watching. Of course, Ronaldo adds to it, but there's a disrespect to both sets of teams in regards to El Clasico. The deal pays for itself. Imagine, like, again, I don't watch Juventus religiously. I mean, I watch them now and again and appreciate the tactical approach from Allegri and them man there. But they're going to have some good options. I mean, depending on how they want to play Cuadrado, if they want to use him in the wing-back role or play him on either side of the flank. There's, for instance, let me just say off the top of my head, I don't know, Cuadrado on the right, purely because I've put him on the right with him in mind, Costa on the left, what's his name, Dybala in a 10, Ronaldo for something. They probably won't, but I think Ronaldo should go up front. It'll probably be Higuain and Ronaldo, but I think Ronaldo should go up front. So Ronaldo up front, Mossi's name behind him, Dybala behind him, Pjanic and Emre Can or whoever behind, Matuidi, whoever just patterning everything behind them. Obviously, you got Alexandro as a fullback, basically a winger. So it's exciting to see how they line up. To be fair with you, like Bernardeschi as well, someone I'd try and fit into the starting lineup either on the right or whatever instead of Cuadrado. I don't know if they want to use Cuadrado as a wing back again, but yeah, like obviously there's scope to playing with Higuain and Dybala in a 4-3-3 of sorts or something. So they could go 2 up front. We can't rule out anything. I'm just shooting a couple of ideas at you people. So great signing, man. Immediately it makes them Champions League contenders, and if they fell in the champs, you'd like to think a big portion of it. I don't want to say it's fair to put it onto Ronaldo, but it's gonna fall to Ronaldo and a lot of the other players now. I rate Ronaldo for the move. I mean, he's conquered England. He's conquered, if you could say, conquer Spain. I mean, I say that because he's won everything, but if I'm him, you probably want to win you probably would have liked to have won a couple more domestic league titles in Spain, but I mean, he's won numerous champs, club cups, Copa del Rey, and the league title, so he's done it all. Juventus is another big club. When you look back at your career, you've played for Madrid and Juventus. I mean, most people would be lucky to play for one and would love it to play for one. He's playing for 2. Most people wouldn't even leave Madrid in these circumstances, let alone go to Juventus in these circumstances. So you get what I'm saying? True say he's not a normal player. So yeah, man, it pays for itself. It's a good move for Juventus at the end of the day. Like, at the end of the day, let me move the light. At the end of the day, it's a good move for Juventus. I can see it. It's a good move. Problem now probably is how, I don't know, because I'm not a Juventus fan and I'm not a financial expert, but you're seeing a lot of, they're going to have to sell players to make money and things like that to comply with financial fair play or whatever. So if you're looking at that, I write them down. Who probably leaves? The first one would probably say, if you did have to sell people, Higuain's bringing in you'd say anything from 50, 70, maybe even 100 million instantly, just because it's Higuain, to be fair. Dybala, 100 plus, purely because of his potential. Cuadrado, a modest 20 to 40, maybe more, depending on how much someone wants him. Pjanic, 40, 50, maybe more. Ronaldo, 20 to just over 40, the centre-half for those who don't know. Alexandro, I wouldn't sell him, but he's one of the best left-backs about, and he's constantly linked with either United, PSG, or Chelsea. That's 50 million minimum. Mandzukic wouldn't bring in the fees of the players I've listed before, but on the basis that they take off his wages and things like that, and every little helps. These are the players you're probably looking at to raise funds. Of course, there's probably got some squad players they can let leave and all of them sort of things there. But they're the ones I'd probably say, if you were in immediate problems with fair play, to bring in. So for me, I can't not rate Juventus enough. I think it's very good. For some reason, I've said that they could play 4-3-3. They could probably play 2 up front. But the thing for me would probably be 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 of sorts, or whatever variation they do. Ronaldo up front, Dybala behind, Costa on some flank. Like, I can't get that idea out of my head, and it sounds sick. It sounds so sick to me. Even Bentancur in time playing the pivot. Like, Juventus could have a sick team, man. So yeah, it makes sense for Ronaldo. He's won it all. He scored 450 goals or some madness like that in his 8 or 9 years at Madrid. He's done it all. He ain't got nothing to prove. Whether he legitimately wanted a new challenge, whether it's because of the way the club's going, and I say that lightly because, I mean, it's not really fair. I mean, they've won however many Champions Leagues. Obviously, they didn't win the domestic league. And when you actually look at the side, Madrid haven't invested in years. Zidane's invested in, like, you know, the Ronaldo types and that. Haven't done that in years. Zidane's gone. Barca's a bit shaky and poor by their own standards, but Madrid need to win a league title. So if you look under the bonnet, it could be no better time. There's no better time to leave a club than on a high, rather than you stay and you're struggling and all of them things. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe this was he agreed with himself he'd leave a while ago. Maybe Zidane knew this. Like, I don't know, innit? Only he will know. So I'd love to hear his personal reasons for wanting to leave Madrid and sign for Juventus. And I mean, not spokesperson out of the horse's mouth, off record, which I'll never get to hear. But yeah, man, it's surprising, but this is the joy with football. Juventus have ruined the market, really. Like, I mean, it was messed up already, but yeah, brother, a lot of people, he was the last player that went for big money, 80 million or so, that was worth it. And if I'm looking at it, off the top of my head, 105 million, Ronaldo is the only person, again, I've said this before, but again, at this current moment in time, worth it. No potential and stuff, no disrespect to Pogba, but no potential and player you can be stuff. Neymar, as much as I love him, is clearly not worth however much they pay for him. Kylian is going to go down in football history. He's currently not worth that. Coutinho, currently not worth that. All of these sort of players that have went for these fees, they're not worth it, and that's no disrespect to them. I'm saying no potential. We know potential. I mean, even with Gobels that's gone to Monaco, 20 million on the basis of potential. Potential is the latest buzzword in football. Ronaldo is worth it at this moment in time. Now, we can't also rule out, we know he takes care of himself and all them things, but we can't, and I don't think it will happen, but we can't rule out that the how do I put this, the pessimistic approach that he goes there, he flops, and he ultimately declines on a mad thing. To which Madrid, you could say Madrid would be laughing, but it is what it is. And on the topic of Madrid, like I said, they ain't invested in a significant player of years. How do they go about it? Ronaldo, he's basically a striker. Do you sign another striker? But then what do you do with Benzema? If you sign a winger, it's cool. You'd like to immediately think Bale is laughing now, because Bale would have probably been laughing when a new manager's coming in regardless. But now Ronaldo's gone, he might be able to express himself if he stays fit and stuff. So he could go into this side. If you bring in a striker, what are you going to do with Benzema? Does he get moved into the bench or whatever? So for me, there's a lot of people they could look at. Or did they go down the youth route, which would make them obviously less competitive considering they've won champs and considering what I said about the league. Junior and Ronaldo, 2 players they've basically signed or come to the club very soon. Do they, along with him, Asensio, Isco's not exactly young, but him to a degree, just build around these sort of players, or as opposed to signing? I don't know. I mean, you could look at pure strikers to sign. You could say Costa, well, not Costa. What's his name? Kane, Harry Kane. But would Harry Kane force a move to Madrid? I mean, he's Spurs through and through. But I'm sure Spurs fans would forgive him for having his head turned, and it'd probably be down to him to force it. There's Kane. There's Icardi. There's always going to be the Lewandowski links. I mean, for me, the one that you probably go for, if I go for in place of Ronaldo, is Eden Hazard. Now, he's nowhere near prolific as Ronaldo. He'd have to demand a lot of himself, and the Madristas would demand a lot of him on the goal-scoring front. But it's never probably been a better time to get Hazard. I mean, Chelsea, to say the least, are in disarray. I mean, the manager on paper is Conte, but you don't know what's going to happen with them, with several playing staffs, with the owner. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Hazard's spoken about we need more competitive players and stuff, and more competitive players, I'm convinced, will arrive to Chelsea. But this current moment in time, there's not there in it. Clearly, Madrid have a more competitive side than Chelsea. His main reason for joining Chelsea was to win the Champions League. He looks further away from that than when he joined. They're in another year of Europa League. He can join Madrid. They've won it 4 times. They might not win it again, but Madrid. Do you get what I'm saying? He's a Madrid fan. I mean, or had some admiration for Madrid. He's had a decent season, to say the least, with how Chelsea have gone. I'm not sure, like Arsenal, like you say, anyone's played well if both teams have finished 5th and 6th respectively. But he's had a decent season. World Cup, he's been on job, low-key. You saw what he's done against Brazil. You see what he's done in every game. His head is probably turned, like Courtois, probably turned out of Chelsea already. So if they've already mentally open to the idea of going, then you can get into his head, and that by logic would make him one of the easiest players to negotiate with. If half the job's done and the player's got 1 foot out the door, you just need to dot the I's and cross the T's. I like people, I'm not talking nonsense. There's that, there's also that. Neymar, did they go and splash whatever and bring Neymar back to Spain? Kylian, I no doubt he probably wants to play for Madrid or Barcelona, no doubt. I mean, he was a big Ronaldo fan, but he spoke about not wanting to leave France as a coward. I know it's been a good season for him, and he's doing his thing at the World Cup, and he's won the league in France. Does he stay another season, or does he jump at the chance to join Madrid? I don't know. So for me, if I'm Madrid, I'm bringing Hazard to the club, to be honest with you. I'll throw whatever at Mbappe. I'd look at Hazard as the most feasible. Neymar, it all depends what he's saying. You know how this is. So my first target would be, on the basis of it, me in my head seeing it as the easiest, I'm going for Hazard. The number 1 target would be Kylian. Neymar is if Neymar wants to do it. Clearly, he's a quality player. The likes of Kane, Lewandowski, Icardi, all of these strikers present good options, but they'd all need to force themselves out. For instance, Lewandowski's always changing opinions by the week. Kane, I think he would have his head turned like anyone would if Madrid came for you, no matter how much you love a club. It's Madrid. But you'd probably have to get him to force himself out of Spurs, and I don't think he'd do that because he respects the fans and the club. So yeah, Lopetegui's got a lot to think about in his job, to be honest. You could also go for Mo Salah as well, to be fair. Like, there's been them links before, he's gone now. I mean, you saw Mane links as well, so it'll be interesting to see who they actually bring in, to be fair, man. But it's a weird move. This is what football is. This is what we live for. It's a coincidence how Torreira's left the Italian league and Ronaldo's joined. Was he scared? Was he shook? I don't know. Obviously, come on guys, you know I saw that on Twitter and I've got to run that in my vids. I'm the deluded Guna for argument's sake, man. But yeah, man, there ain't nothing more to say. I mean, but the way the window's going, I mean, there's talk of Rabiot possibly leaving. There's scope for Thiago. There's scope for Kante to PSG. So we might see another twist and turn in this market or before the window shuts. And yeah, if you support an English team, it shuts earlier. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But for now, guys, deluded. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.